Hi there. The real existent Demiurge created this world. This created world is evil. Therefore, the real existent Demiurge is evil. I never was one for logic. I'm not quite sure if that's even right. I'm not a logical person, you see. Anyway, what to do, how to deal with the Demiurge in everyday life and sort of metaphysically, if that can be, if you can actually say that kind of thing. I'm not sure you can. This is in no particular order. You have to welcome the thoughts that are created by the Demiurge, and then give them leave to depart. This assumes that all thoughts and all perceptions come from the Demiurge. They certainly might come from the created world, but whether they all come from the created world or whether some perceptions and thoughts come from a higher plane, as it might be called, or come from soul level, or even God level, I would say that probably that is so as well. So it would be a shame to throw the baby out with the bathwater, for example, and disregard all thoughts because all thoughts have come from the demiurge. Maybe it's also true to say that all thoughts have been modified in some way by the world of the demiurge, and the language in which you express your thoughts. Obviously, that's limited as well. So, but there could be some thought which is like remains non-expressed or you don't express some thoughts, and yet they leave some kind of impression on you, which you can't articulate or analyze. Um, but then even those thoughts, they would come and they would go. You couldn't hold on to any thought or any impression or any perception for very long without it becoming rather obsessional, perhaps, which would also play perhaps into the hands, as it were, of the demiurge. And talking of obsession, I suppose, meditate often, but not obsessively. So again, you could define religion as being a regular set of practices associated with the norms, values, and beliefs of that religion. And meditation could be one of the pillars, or not meditation exactly, or introspection or visualization of the Holy Grail, for example. But you would do it non-obsessively, so you would do it, you leave it more to kind of spontaneous, a spontaneous feeling that you ought to meditate today or something, because you're getting too enmeshed in the created worlds. So that might be something. And I suppose the list goes on in no particular order from that really. Reduce the value of the demiurge to almost zero. Not really quite sure what that means. I think it means something like you don't ascribe too much importance to this world. On the other hand, this world is as it is, and the almost zero, I suppose, is important in this particular statement. So you're not actually denying the world or denying the demiurge for that matter. It's just that you're not ascribing to, well, most of it you're devaluing, as it were, but some of it is of value. But quite what portion of that is of value and what it could contain or comprise is not particularly stated in this statement. So I'm not sure it's very helpful, really. Um, yeah, the ways of the demiurge are a test for the nous, or for the soul level, soul consciousness. This actually is related to a topic I've been looking at called antinatalism, which is where it's cruel to actually reproduce and to bring humans into this world. Because Uh, hmm, hmm. It's not really a test. It is more of a burden. There is no kind of higher aspect or higher purpose to the test that the Demiurge puts us through, or living in this world puts us through, really. I mean, there's no reason for us to be tested like this, really. Or some people may dispute that. They may say, well, the test is everything, really. That's a bit of a sort of orthodox kind of message. There's no reason for the soul to be tested. It's a mistake. It's something which shouldn't have happened. That might be one Gnostic view, anyway. That's a very controversial point there, really. Um, and then tell others about the Demiurge, and that's a source of comfort. I'm not quite sure. You could actually depress people with that, really. And Gnosticism used to be very secret knowledge, special teachings, etc. Because you didn't want to upset people too much. It's, telling people that their souls imprisoned in an evil world could be a source of great depression, and people might give up, and they might say, "Oh well, in that case, I'll just do lots of evil things because it doesn't matter. There's no redemption anyway. This world is my playground for being destructive and mean to people." So I'm not sure telling others is a very good idea. I think you have to be quite selective in who you tell, perhaps. Again, I don't really know that. Proselytizing, maybe. Then forgive the Demiurge consistently and always. Yes, forgiveness is a powerful mental state to be in. From forgiveness arises freedom, they tell me, and because you're free of the thing that upsets you or has done you wrong. You forgive it, you let it go, you let the anger go. You can't be angry at the Demiurge because the Demiurge is just doing his or its job. So you might as well be angry with a lion or a tiger or with HIV virus, for example. It doesn't make much sense to be angry. And it's also quite dualistic to be angry, whereas forgiveness perhaps propels you into a state of non-duality. So that's quite an interesting point to bear in mind. Um, hmm, all is illusion, but that love is real. Depends what you mean by love. The ancient Greeks had different definitions of love. If you're going to be talking about agape, then maybe so. The love for the divine. That is real, possibly in a world of illusion. And a world of ego delusion, I would argue as well.
Ed Miliband.
Ed Miliband.